Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Soames, and I'm the head of digital marketing here at Traveltek. I am joined today by Neil Welsh, who is our head of sales, and he will be walking us through the cruise packaging solutions. So just to let you know that today's session is being recorded, and we will share a recording of it with you once the session is done later this afternoon. And also, we will be hosting a Q&A at the end of the session. So if you can just use the Q&A function that you will find at the bottom of your screen, you can add your questions in there and Neil will be answering them at the very end. So without further ado, over to you, Neil.
Thank you, Rebecca. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Today is all about showcasing our technology focused on cruise packaging. First of all, I'm sure there's some of our existing customers on the session, so of course they know who we are. But obviously, there's some customers who don't know who we are. So who are we? We're a technology company. So Traveltek is a technology company, and we provide technology solutions to travel agents, tour operators, wholesalers all around the world. Not to just companies that specialize in cruise, but we have technology that focuses on cruise technology for businesses that focus on cruise as well. So a little bit more about our expertise in cruise. So cruise is our core competency. So in the UK, we have a long list of clients that use our technology for websites, front office, back office. Outside of the UK, where we have significant business around the world, the majority of the business is always generated and focused on cruise. We're an established technology company. We've been operating over 25 years, and our leaders within our business are travel industry veterans as well, with experience in running cruise businesses as well. In terms of connectivity, our connectivity is unmatched in the marketplace. So our platform connects to the majority of the world's ocean cruise lines, alongside river cruise lines as well. Our portfolio of products includes our API that allows our customers to consume our API and provide connectivity to cruise lines. Part of our product portfolio includes post-booking support as well. So from experience, I'm an ex-travel agent tour operator myself for many years before my life at Traveltek began. So I know from a travel agent's perspective and a tour operator's perspective, once you've booked the cruise, that's only half the job. There's lots and lots of work that you need to do post-booking. And part of the value of our technology is we provide technology that you can connect to the cruise line and actually automate some of those processes as well. We provide flexible technology as well. So our APIs are very flexible and can be used in XML or JSON. As I touched on, although we're based in the UK, in Glasgow, in fact, we're very much a global business. So we have business all around the world. We're a very flexible company. So we'll touch on the products that we have later on through the session, but we provide tailored solutions as well. So travel businesses can pick and choose what products they want from us. So just a few names that are very well known globally. Hays Travel, based in the UK, the largest independent travel company in the UK using our technology across the business. Imagine Cruising, very much a specialist tour operator using our technology to package cruise. JetBlue Vacations. JetBlue Vacations are actually an airline, really, in the US that are actually using our technology to package cruise again. TST and Cruise Planners are very significant cruise resellers in the US. Cruise 118 are very close partners of ours in the UK that do lots of cruise packaging and lots of retail cruise. And Flight Centre are close partners of ours in Australia that are using our technology to search and book cruise across their agency estates. So the session is all about cruise packaging. So what is cruise packaging? Cruise packaging is very rewarding for a travel agent and a tour operator in terms of providing a good service to your customer, but also providing something different that allows you to make more money. The commissions are high, or the profits are high, and generally the booking value is a lot higher as well. There's two types of cruise packaging that we're going to talk about in detail today. and I'm going to showcase the technology that would allow you to do it. So there's a traditional style cruise dynamic packaging that would allow a consumer or an agent to take a cruise and add components to the basket. Now, that provides flexibility to the user, whether it's a customer or an agent. What it does do, it's very transparent to the end user in terms of the cost. So the customer or the agent will see the cost of the cruise, the cost of the flight, cost of the hotel. So you're not packaging in a sense of you're providing one cost to the customer. You're giving them the flexibility to tailor their own package. And then we have another type of package that's used by the majority of the more traditional style tour operators. And it is more rewarding from a profit perspective. So what you're doing is you're providing one cost to the customer, and underneath that, there could be components for flights, hotels, attractions, tours, and obviously the cruise. But it's all bundled up as one cost. So what you're not doing is you're not providing the element cost to the end consumer. So what does that do? It allows you to negotiate with the suppliers and get tour operating nets with the suppliers and hide your margin and then present it as one cost. So that's true tour operating in that sense. And we provide advanced technology allowing you to do that. So, as we've said, we're very experienced in providing cruise technology to the industry. So, this webinar has been publicised for a couple of weeks. So, some of the feedback that we've got from clients and from my own experiences, some of these are quite common challenges that our clients have and new clients are experiencing. So, I'm just going to read them to you and then talk about how our technology can help you solve them. So, our product team struggles to develop new offerings while keeping up with existing promotions, limiting our abilities to scale. So, for example, if you just got two offers, you could probably run that on a spreadsheet. But if that's really successful and you want to do more offers across lots and lots of dates, that product person can only do so much. So it's allowing, providing technology to actually scale that. We want to sell our packages online, but lack the right technology to do so efficiently. So if you think about how complex it could be, cruise, flight, hotel, a tour, attraction, maybe using live components, maybe using your own inventory, all with different margins attached and maybe across multiple itinerary dates. That's quite difficult. And it's taken us a long time to develop technology that allows a consumer or an agent to search for that and actually make a booking. I'm going to show you that today. Managing airline and cruise allocations manually is time consuming and often prone to errors. So cruise, one of the advantages of cruise as well is it's booked well in advance, particularly packages. So sometimes some of our clients are booking well outside of the GDS range, which means having an allocation control on flights is really important, which is part of our portfolio of products. Also, cruise allocations. Sometimes really proactive tour operators negotiate special net rates from the cruise lines. So sometimes they push through the API, which depending on the cruise line we support. And sometimes they give you a manual allocation, which again, we have technology which will allow you to put the allocation within our system. So it negates the need to manage that on spreadsheets and control the sale. It can all be done from a central place. And booking multiple components from different suppliers separately has led to costly mistakes and inefficiencies. Yeah, you might do 10 bookings, but if you do one booking and you make a horrible error, all of that profit's wiped out. And it can be done. We're all human. So if you go off and book a cruise, go off and book a flight, go off and book a hotel, and you're doing it on 3 different browsers with 3 different applications of B2B sites, and then having to put it into your back office, there's a good chance at some point one of your staff is going to make an error. So unless you've got really robust operational process in place to check it, if you invest in technology to remove or help negate the probability of that happening, that could be a problem for you, which we'll cover through the session today. So we're going to talk a little bit more now. I'm going to show you some live demos as well, but we're going to talk about those two categories of cruise packaging that I spoke about. So Cruise DP. So Cruise DP, think of it as an open shopping cart, which would allow an agent or a customer or a partner to take the cruise to the basket and then add components on before and components on after. So the two different environments that we can provide that. Traveltek's selling solution, our own brand, is called iSell. Now, iSell would allow you to take the cruise to the basket and add components on. So in effect, every time you take an inquiry from a customer, you will use the technology to actually build the itinerary for the customer using live components and connecting live to suppliers and having one central place to go to rather than having to go off to different websites for different suppliers. We have developed through some businesses that we work with the ability for end consumers or maybe even a B2B partner to do exactly that. So, for example, if you're a wholesaler or a tour operator and you want to provide technology to allow your partner to package cruise with flights and hotels, we can do that. And I'm going to show you how you do that today. And equally, if you just wanted to allow customers, the end consumer, to add on components to cruises and flights and hotels, we have technology already in place to do that. And the technology has to be developed in a way that allows the consumer to add flights and hotels, that allows them, well, stops them making a mistake. So if you think about it, if you're cruising from Miami, what you can't have is giving them an open basket and allow them to choose a flight that flies into New York, for example, by mistake. So we have technology that allows them to choose their flights, but it only allows them to select flights that matches the cruise itinerary and the same with the hotel. So touching through the key points of our Cruise DP technology, building the basket, integrated CRM that will allow you to quote your customer and automatically downloads into the back office. So if we talk about some of the challenges that were on the previous slide, does this technology help you remove those risks? Well, one of the challenges was booking multiple components from different suppliers separately has led costly to mistakes and inefficiencies. So using this technology, the agent can actually use one environment to actually book lots of different suppliers and create one booking reference with 3 different or 4 different supplier references at the same time. So it is actually exactly what the customer actually wants. So it removes that error. Creating and quoting packages can take too long. So I'm going to show you how we can speed that process up and make it more efficient. And booking multiple components with different suppliers has led to costly mistakes and inefficiencies, as we touched on. That covers that as well. So the next slide, let's go on to, there we go, Cruise Tech. So Cruise Tech is our advanced packaging module. So this is for true tour operators, really, rather than providing dynamic cruise packaging technology and allowing agents and users just to package cruises based on the inquiry that's come in. This is actually putting product together. So you need a product person and expertise within your business. So putting itineraries together and then presenting it as one price to the customer. That would allow you to use a mix of live connections to our that we connect to. So we connect to all the GDS gateways, for example, from a flight perspective. We connect to hotel suppliers. We connect to attractions and car hire and transfer suppliers as well. So you can put all of those components into the package, and at the same time, you can load your own inventory. So if you've got your own cruise allocations or you've got your own flight allocation, you can put that in as well. We manage upsells through the booking journey, which I'm going to show to you as well. So through the booking journey, rather than just presenting one static cost, what you're able to do is you're able to provide the cost, and then through the booking journey, the user or the partner can choose options of upgrade for the flight, for the hotel, and also for the cabin. So it brings to life the package as well. And all of these packages can be distributed across multi-channels. So one of the challenges is keeping all the products together and broadening the product range and also distributing it. So what you're able to do is distribute it to your own staff via the selling tool, but also distribute it to your customers via B2C web channels and also B2B web channels as well. Right, so I think that's enough of PowerPoint. So what we're going to do now is we're going to whiz into some live demos. Those of you who are existing customers, this screen will feel very familiar. It's our training system for iSell. For new customers, obviously it won't do. So this is our internal search and book platform. So what I'm going to show you now is how efficient it can be to dynamically package a cruise with flights and hotels and providing the technology to your own staff. And using all the technology that Traveltek has as well. So we provide a front office and a back office and an integrated CRM. So if we do a natural flow, if we look for an existing customer within the CRM, we find the customer, and then we do an inquiry. And we choose a cruise inquiry. And then we can put information about what cruise we're trying to package. And all of this data then is stored that you can go and get and report for your business. So if we create that inquiry, okay. So what we can do now is we're going to dynamically package a cruise with flights and hotels. So the first thing we'll do is we'll do a search and we'll search for June. And we'll empty our basket. And at this point, it's going to search all of the cruise lines that we have within the system at the same time. So the efficiency that it's going to give to the user is rather than going off to all of the cruise lines, individual systems and having to create different itineraries, they can go to one central place where all of the content returns back, and they can filter everything on the left by the filters on the right. So if we choose Miami, for example, here, there we go. And now what we can do is we can choose a cruise to actually package. So if we want to choose, let's say we want to filter and we want to filter Norwegian, we can do that. And if you think about it from an agent's point of view, we've checked all these cruise lines itineraries, so it's saved us all that time in actually doing that. And then what we can do now is if we wanted, for example, the Norwegian gem, we can do that. And then if we search this one here, this will then connect to the cruise line live and biggest results back. Now, obviously, we can't share with you an existing customer's back office, so that the actual pricing coming back here is in a test mode. So the pricing will not be live from the cruise line, but it's the same connection, but it won't be live data coming back. We'll just wait for that data to come back. There you go. So the idea would be, if you think about it from an agent's perspective, I've filtered the results back from all of the cruise lines that we have switched on within the platform, not having to go off into the individual cruise lines. I've got all the data back, and from here, I'm able to choose the promotion that I want. So if we choose an inside cabin, choose the cabin that I want. And then down here, what we're doing is we're providing automation in terms of packaging the cruise. So we do have a quick basket here where we can search live any of the components and add them onto the basket. Alternatively, what we can do to save time, and it's the same logic that we would put onto a B2B portal or a B2C website, is allowing the consumer or the agent to actually package the cruise, knowing that the technology will only bring back flights and hotels that are actually relevant to the cruise. So it's not going to bring back flights that don't fit the itinerary, and it's not going to bring back a hotel that's not ideal for where the cruise is departing from. Now, alongside that, these are all the results coming back. So you can filter all the results on the left by the filters on the right. So if we choose that particular hotel, alongside that, you can push through your own product as well. So if you've got allocations for out of range flights, you can put that into the system. And if you've got allocations with hotels directly, you can put that in as well. So these are the results coming back from the GDS. We choose that as well. And now we will have a complete basket. So we will have a flight, we'll have a hotel, and we'll have a cruise. So I would say that's probably taken me 3 or 4 minutes at the same time as talking to you, and navigating the screen as well. And if you think about how long it would take an agent or even well, your own staff or an agent that you're selling to actually do that, going off to all the cruise lines, trying to compare itineraries, going off to the native tour on GDS or going to a flight consolidator, going off trying to compare bed banks, having one tool to go to and bringing back everything at the same time at the right price, all matching what the customer wants, and then being able to quote the customer from the same tool provides real efficiency and accuracy, and it allows you to provide a better service to your customer. We'll just wait for the basket to fill. It just comes through now. Is there any questions so far, Rebecca?
I have a few questions coming through. So one of them was, do you offer products for a single cruise line?
Do we offer products for a single cruise line?
Mhm.
Yes, depends on the context of the question. So if the question is from a cruise line themselves, yes, what we can do is we can integrate a cruise line, and we can provide you technology to package product either side of that. If the question's from a travel agent or a tour operator just want to retail a cruise line, then yes, the onus is on you to choose who you deal with. So we have connections to not every single ocean cruise line, but the list is very long, and the majority of the significant ones are on our list. And actually, we've got the greatest list in the market. And if there was a want or a need to integrate a cruise line onto the platform, then it's something that we would be willing to look at, because we consider ourselves very much a marketplace, providing a marketplace for travel agents, tour operators to sell cruise, but at the same time, cruise lines and suppliers to actually promote their product. I'll just finish this section and then we'll see if there's any other questions come along. So this is the
Okay.
basket now. So from here, what we can do is we can use the Traveltek system then to quote the customer and actually make the booking. If we make the booking, we get free references here, which goes into the back office, which then generates that automation and accuracy that we spoke about. So the other type of cruise that we wanted to show you on today's call was I'm going to show you something that looks a lot better than the internal system. Bear in mind that's an internal tool. Yeah, it's not something that you would give to your customers. You'd give it to your own staff to allow them to build packages. This is a partner of ours, a close partner of ours that do sell packages online, but underneath that, they're using our cruise tech technology, and they have their own product team that are actually creating product using our technology and connecting live to suppliers, as well as sometimes when the need is there, and connecting to their own inventory models. So from a website perspective, the packages can look like whatever you want them to look like. So you can see that looks completely different to the internal systems, and we can present these packages however you want them to be. They could be window cards, or they could be generated through a cruise search. So if we look at one of these ones, and we select one of these and just go through the journey, let's choose, what one shall we choose? Let's choose this one. So it's asking me, where do you want to go from? So it's unlike a cruise DP where you're taking the cruise to the basket and you're adding on flights and hotels. It's almost like a free basket. This is where a true tour operator is being more proactive and actually putting product together. But at the same time, the technology allows flexibility for the user. And it gives more scope to create product to the product person. So this package is going to be available from Heathrow, Edinburgh, or Manchester. We select the airport, and then behind the scenes, this is doing a lot. What it's doing is it's connecting live to a GDS. It's connecting live to the cruise line. It's connecting live to bed banks that they've chosen. And it's then running all the margin rules on top of that. And then it's going to present one price. And at the same time, it's going to present options of upgrade through the booking journey. So this kind of tool, if you think about it, could be used directly to the consumer, or it could be used in a tool to sell from a B2B perspective. So the price is 1,169, but at the same time, these flights are included, which is using a GDS. We can upgrade. Okay, so we can upgrade our flight, which, or in this circumstance, there is no price increase. There's just a change of flight, so you can tailor the flight that fits you better. And then this hotel is actually included within the package. But these ones here underneath are all at supplementary costs. So unlike Cruise DP, where you're providing customer lots and lots of choice, you're actually nailing down and you're trying to inspire the customer to say, these are the best hotels that we've chosen, handpicked using Traveltek's technology, that you can choose for this package. And then the same for the cabin. So if we have a look at the cabin, that cabin's included, but we can upgrade the cabin and allow the customer to tailor the flight, tailor the hotel, and tailor the cruise. But all they're really doing is just upgrading really the cruise package that's been put together by the business. Now, when we make a booking, it's going to make a booking directly with all of those suppliers. If within the solution that we're providing to the client, that the back office is included, it will automatically go into the back office. We would use a payment gateway that we have integrated on the platform. It means we take the customer's money and put it into your bank. The booking would automatically go into the back office with supplier references for each element, and then we can automate the booking confirmation to the client. So if you think about how long all of that would take to actually make a booking manually by a user, probably at half an hour. And we can improve that not only by improving the efficiency of it all, we can improve the accuracy, because there's going to be no issues in terms of booking flights and hotels and that are not relevant to the package. So I'm going to stop screen sharing now. Just bear with me a second. Rebecca, I'm hoping that we've got some nice questions from you to ask.
Yes, we do. We had this before you did the demo, so you've kind of already answered it, but which part, if any, is customer facing?
Okay, so the one that you've just seen, the Cruise Nation one, is customer facing. The internal one, the first one I sell, is the intranet. Think of it as an intranet. It's not really even, in my opinion, a B2B tool that you would give to a travel partner that you're selling to. It would be more of an internal tool that you'd give to your own staff. Still providing an amazing efficiency for the sales user, but obviously it's not been designed from a UX perspective to look like a B2C website.
All right. Another question we got is, can we use both types of packaging technologies?
Yeah. Okay. So there are clients that have both because both are very different. Okay. So if you think about it, the cruise tech packaging, customers book those. So the packages that are presented as one cost. But sometimes customers call you and say, "Yeah, I like that, but can you tailor it for me? Can you change it?" So what they would do is they then would use the Traveltech iSell system to actually create their own itinerary and create their own basket. Alternatively, if you wanted to on the front end, so when we're talking about our website, if you wanted two different journeys, if you wanted one search that is your tailored packages, your own product, maybe 100 window cards of special offers that you put together and automated, and you want that to be bookable, you could do that because they're two different products really. And if you just wanted to offer um, ancillary options for flights and hotels through the booking journey when they're booking cruise, you could do that as well. So yes, they can really work together.
All right, brilliant. Another question is, can we use our cruise specialist flight fares if we have our own?
Yeah, you can. Two types really. So with all the GDSs that we connect to, um, there will be configuration needed between us, the client, and the GDS, some collaboration to make sure that the setup includes returning their private fares or their IT rates that are actually um, provided to them based on them packaging crews. So yes, we can do that. And then there's the other type of rate that is, well, it's more of a tour operator strategy where they're taking bookings in outside of GDS range. You would use our allocation system to put that in. So from a flight perspective, yes, we have it covered, and it's really important, obviously, for packages. Other than the cruise, there's probably nothing more important than the flight.
All right, brilliant. We had another question who's providing the protection for the different methods shown?
Now, remember right at the start on the opening slide, we said that we're a technology company, which we are. Okay, so we're providing technology to travel agents and tour operators. We never compete with our clients, so we're not selling travel product. So the legalities of how you operate in different markets and what you need is up to you. Travel tech doesn't provide any protection. What we're doing is providing you the tools to connect to suppliers, providing you the technology to build the product. Now, in some markets, there are certain legalities and documentation that needs to be issued. In the UK, for example, if you're packaging crews, um, the norm would be it would be under some kind of atoll license, and then if you're using our system, then we have automation to generate those atoll certificates, and we have been accredited by the Civil Aviation Authority to do that in the right way. So we're happy to work with clients to support what they need in terms of documentation, but we're not a governing body of sort of protection. We're not a travel company. I hope that answers that question.
Right, another one. Do you provide demos for the internal system regarding configuration, monitoring, management, and tracking?
Absolutely. We've only had, obviously this is a sort of a webinar to sort of focus on cruise packaging from a high level perspective. There's so many configurations and permissions and management tools that we provide within our system. I'll just touch on them. From a margin perspective, you're able to flex margins in terms of percentage or value against any cruise line, any supplier by booking date, by departure date, all kinds of exclusions. You're also able to manage all your deposits within the Traveltech system. You're also able to weight product within the Traveltech system. You're also able to manage margins by sales channel. That's just a three or four snippets of information that we do, but there's definitely a deeper dive session where we can show you all the supporting admin underneath it.
Yeah, and we've had a few requests for demos, which I've noted that we'll send Neil's contact information at the end along with the recording. So you can send him an email and schedule the demos, or you can do it through our website with the contact form. So another question we had was, can you add transfers to all parts of the journey at basket stage, airport to hotel, hotel to port, and port to airport, for instance?
You can, yeah. So we have close transfer suppliers that you can even include them into the package. Okay, so within Cruise Tech, you can actually include transfers in the package. Alternatively, you can take the cruise to the basket and you can add them on as a free components. And then we also have a transfer module that's used quite a lot actually. Because if you think about it, if you're creating packages and you're targeting a specific date or a particular itinerary, um, and you do 20 bookings on it, for example, and you're selling 18 months in advance, it might be that you just choose to put your own pricing in. So we allow you to do that, which means that you can bulk buy a transfer and again start tour operating in a true sense as well. And we also have the transfer module set up as well, almost like as a backstop, really, to if, for example, and if you think about it, it is technology, so it's connecting to all these suppliers live at any time. Okay, so if one of the suppliers have a moment for whatever reason, they're not bringing back any results from Miami or Palma, or maybe even their API is down for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. What you can do is you can put a backstop in terms of an element that will actually refill that transfer space that we was using a live supplier as a manual element and an actually placeholder cost. So all of that through years of working with our partners, we you know the it, it, we just added to the product suite to cover any complexity that has come up through our experiences.
Right. So another question we have, you've kind of answered in some regards, but we have our own net rates from cruise lines for specific cruise dates. How can you support that?
Okay. Well, that's quite easy, but we do a deeper dive on that as well. So when we connect to the cruise line, as we said, we're not a travel company, so the rates coming through the cruise line are the company's rates, and they provide all of the rates. They provide gross rates, and if you are a tour operator or you've got negotiated net rates, they would come through. And then what you can do, you can configure those net rates to be used on different packages if you want to go down to that level, or whether you want those net rates to be used on particular sales channels as well. So again, through many years of working with cruise specialist travel companies has led to us sort of broadening our functionality in that area.
Yep. And another question is, we are from Italy. Do you support different languages and currencies?
Well, actually, we don't have any Italian language, okay, but it doesn't mean we can't support it. So we have good language cover on Spain, Germany, um, Netherlands, some Portuguese as well. But what we do have is a content admin. So regardless of the market, we see ourselves very much as the global leader, shall we say, in providing cruise technology to the travel industry. So there isn't a market that we wouldn't welcome the opportunity of working with them. And we have an admin that would allow you to manage your own content in Italian. We have contacts that would allow we could collaborate with each other to actually translate some of the content to Italian. We can connect to the cruise line in any market. And there are some markets that are either managed by GSAs or PSAs, and our technology allows them to connect to the cruise line via that company as well. So we would welcome any opportunity for any customer in new market, and definitely Italy for sure.
All right. And I have saved everyone's favorite question for last, which is around pricing. How much does it cost?
Right, okay. Well, should we say it starts from?
Hmm.
Because it really depends what the the customer is trying to achieve. So we were speaking about iSell today as a cruise dynamic package tool. Okay, so iSell can be set up, configured, provided for a minimum of 5 users for as little as £600 a month. Okay, but it really depends on what the customer wants, what market they're in, how many cruise lines they wanted to connect to. Do they want a B2C tool? Do they want a B2B portal? Do they want cruise packaging in terms of cruise tech, or do they want just cruise DP? Um, so the strength of what we provide is a full comprehensive solution to a travel company whether it's a travel agent or a tour operator. And I think the strength that we provide as well is our flexibility, and all the products are very modularized. So part of what we do is the consultation to understand truly what the customer, the requirement is, and then to match up the requirement against the products that we have. And then we work on the commercials, make sure it makes sense to us to support the customer, but at the same time, understanding the opportunity and make sure that the numbers involved don't outweigh the opportunity.
Right. We actually have had a few more questions come through. So if we use suppliers that won't feed through iSell, how would that work with making up a package to get live pricing?
Okay, so part of the strength is that all of the inventory models we have. So as good as the connectivity list we've got is, particularly on cruise, there's a recognition that there isn't a technology company out there that connects to every travel supplier. It doesn't exist. All right. So if you don't have the backstop of providing technology that allows you to load your own inventory and your own product to complement the live suppliers, you're always going to fall short. So we never have a problem there, because if there is a DMC or a particular hotel that they want to connect to live, um, connect to, then they'll just load the product in manually. If there was a flight supplier, for example, that's quite a common one. Um, what we would need to do is probably work with the GDSs. All right, so think of the GDS really as a technology company, because they are really. They're just like us. They're providing a mechanism to connect to all the airlines. So sometimes in some markets, there might be a niche flight consolidator that we probably wouldn't integrate onto the platform, all right, because it might be just for one client, and there's, it's development costs involved. So what's the point? But what you can do is you can use a GDS, and the GDS then can be used as a technology company. The consolidator can actually tick it through. So that's worked for us quite a number of times.
Right. And one last question says, and about support and maintenance. So I'm guessing they just mean in general. If you could just
Yeah.
provide us an overview.
Okay, well, again, it's very much our strength. Okay, so we are a significant technology company. Yes, we see ourselves the leader in providing technology around the world for cruise, but we have some very large companies with lots and lots and lots and lots, well, thousands of users using it. So we have a infrastructure in place involving support desks, SLAs, and we really pride ourselves on our service. So we can tailor the service that's required based on the client as well.